Hello, and welcome to the presentation, The Importance of Selling Direct to Consumers from Your Website. My name is Brian Nordyke, e-commerce manager at Sheridan in the CJK Group. I've been with Sheridan for 35 years and have worked in operations, scheduling, IT, as well as e-commerce and distribution. For those of you that may not know, Sheridan provides self-publishers and publishers with simple yet effective solutions, from book printing to ebook conversions to workflow and e-commerce solutions. In this presentation, I'll be discussing the importance of having your title for sale on your website in addition to mainstream retailers. Direct-to-consumer sales does not need to be a replacement for large third-party retailers, but instead an important additional revenue stream with much more to offer than simply increased sales. I'll also be looking at ways to grow your sales even after you've made the initial sale on your direct-to-consumer e-commerce site. Lastly, we'll take a look at the different ways the content can be sold and fulfilled using your direct-to-consumer site. So let's look at 3 reasons why it's important to have your titles for sale on your website in addition to mainstream retailers, be it online or brick and mortar. Again, we're not looking at replacing having your content available on mainstream retail sites. What we're talking about is capturing the sale directly for those consumers who've come to your site. Imagine a customer entering one of today's big box stores looking to buy a variety of things. A hammer for this weekend's project, some coffee, and oh yes, they want to pick up that book that you specialize in. Although they came to the store for a variety of reasons and not just your title, when they go to the book section of the store, you certainly will want your title up front and prominent with any other titles that may be available on this or related topics. This illustrates the need to have a presence with mainstream retailers. But now let's talk about selling direct to consumers in addition to, not instead of, third-party sites. So if we imagine that same customer coming to your store or sitting on your site, interested in a title that you have for sale. You've posted a link to a third-party retailer for those interested in purchasing your title. We know that by simply clicking on that link, they've demonstrated a direct desire to make that purchase. Direct-to-consumer solution takes that same click and turns it into an immediate sale. I think of the consumers that are on your website ready to click that button or link the same way I look at that individual in the big box store who's picked up your book and has made their way to the checkout line. The last thing I want to do is provide any distractions or reasons for them to set that book down or not complete the sale. Once you send a customer off to a third-party retailer, you've now lost complete control of that sale. While landing on your product page on a third-party site, your customer is faced right away with competing products. Your customer may be faced with cross promotions for similar products that are not your own, may even directly compete with your titles. Once on a third-party retailer site, your customer is bombarded with a ton of distractions that may sway them away from why they came to your site in the first place. By clicking on a link from your site, a once promising sale in a few clicks may instead result in the sale of a hammer. And finally, one of the critical components of selling direct to consumers is your ability to set your own prices and offer marketing campaigns that quickly react to current trends. Offering your content for sale on your website, along with additional content that you specialize in, works to build you as a topic expert, the go-to place for information. This can be a very cyclical and profitable process. Imagine, if you will, a consumer comes to your site looking for a very specific title. In the process of making the purchase, you present them with enough additional information that says, hey, we're the go-to place for this type of information. The next time that customer thinks of a related topic or question, we want their first thought to be of you and your site. Perhaps on the next visit, they come for additional information that does not necessarily result in a sale. But from this point forward, we gain confidence that this customer will be back and eventually will make additional purchases. I alluded to this earlier, and I don't want to minimize the benefits of having instant access to your content and pricing. And this goes beyond simply setting your margins, but lets you quickly respond to current trends and even day-to-day news. Do you have content that is somehow related to the day's breaking news story? Quickly and easily highlight that title, move it to a more prominent position on your site, and quickly create promotional materials related to that title and its relevance to the current trend or news of the day. This type of instant access is not available on major third-party retail sites. Easily edited sections such as editor picks and trending now also allow you to cycle content visibility. Once you've made an initial sale from your e-commerce site, don't stop there. In this section, I'll review 3 easy tactics that you should be applying to continue to grow your sales after the initial sale. First tactic is to build a customer database. Tools such as Google Analytics provide critical marketing insights such as page views, geographical consumer information, which pages are most often visited, and even what devices your customers are using to access your site. When you make a sale on your e-commerce site, you capture the consumer's name and contact information. Use this information along with the analytics you gather to build a customer database that you can use for cross-promotions and future marketing efforts. And now that you can identify your paying customer, you can more easily target them for future purchases. Having bought from you once, he or she is much more likely to buy from you again. In addition to building a customer database, it's also important to establish a direct line of communication with your readers. Connect with your readers. A direct line of communication allows for education about your product and opportunities to gain valuable feedback from your audience. You can use this knowledge for future marketing and promotions. Leverage your expertise. Offer options that visitors can only find on your website and not on other retail sites where your books are sold. Blogs, forum, exclusive author insights, related tips on your topics, and other only found here options turn your website into a destination, not just a store. Strengthen your relationships by creating a stronger bond between you and your customers by opening a direct line of communication. And use those only found here options will make them sticky and have them coming back to your website for more. Third tactic is to maximize control of your products. As we mentioned earlier, on your site, there's no distractions from competing titles or unrelated products that are not yours, ensuring that purchasers buy your book and not your competitors. But still take a cue from mass retail sites and show your own related titles and products on each product page to increase sales across all of your products. Control your own pricing and margins. Once again, the beauty of selling books on your site is the ability to set and change retail pricing, allowing full control over margins. Third-party retailers dictate the price an item must be sold for. Being able to change prices on the fly also comes in handy for special sales and promotions. Your own site allows for customization that you won't find on mass retail sites. And to reemphasize, in addition to maintaining control over pricing and the similar products you want to show on your site, you also have the ability to update images and content, allowing you to feature products and change messaging to fit current trends, news, or promotions. Direct-to-consumer sales allow you to easily offer content in a variety of different formats, as well as a number of automated fulfillment options. Let's now take a look at the different types of formats and fulfillment options that exist. First, we'll focus on ebooks and how they can be sold. Offering your title as an ebook is a quick and easy way to increase profits by offering previous content in a new format. Typical ebook formats to consider are ePDF, or static page representations of printed content, EPUB, allowing for flowable text on today's most common readers, as well as Kindle's Moby Pocket format. So which format is right for you? ePDF is perfect for larger screens like computers, and text can be linked from the table of contents to chapters, as well as websites. EPUB, the most common type of ebook format, can be read on most devices and provides reflowable text. And Moby Pocket is a proprietary format for selling in Amazon and reading on Kindle devices. In addition to ebook format, you'll want to consider the use of DRM, or digital rights management, to protect your content from unauthorized use. The use of DRM is a very personal choice that each publisher must decide if it's right for their content. Some publishers opt for more user-friendly DRM as offered with online reading, while still providing content protection. So what does it mean to sell protected content to your consumer in an ebook download format? The most prevalent DRM for ebooks uses Adobe Content Server. It's important to understand that DRM is something that's applied at the time of purchase, and not something that happens to the file itself. This makes the option something that you can easily turn on and off, or even apply only to certain titles. This type of DRM creates an ownership link with the title of the purchase. I bought your title, and now that title belongs to me, and I can't share it with others. An Adobe ID is what is used to identify me, so that ownership link can be established. Now, specific software is needed to read a DRM-protected ebook that is compatible with my Adobe ID, so that I can not only identify myself, but show that I'm the owner of this title. As a publisher, what DRM provides for you in terms of protection is, it restricts access to a single consumer. That consumer can download the file up to 6 different devices. All 6 of those devices must be registered to that user, and they can't be given to 6 different people. And the downloaded file can't be copied or transferred to other devices or shared with other users. While an Adobe ID and the required software are free to consumers, and the steps required in downloading the software and acquiring an ID prior to accessing the title is not difficult, it often can be a source of frustration for the reader, as well as customer support concern for you, the publisher. One alternative to consider for protecting your content from unauthorized use is a browser-based reader or online reading, where your content exists in a cloud. For the reader, the title is available immediately after purchase, and there's no additional software to download. No ID is required. Simply complete the purchase and click Read My Book. For the publisher, online reading affords similar protection to that of a printed title, in that only one exists that can't be duplicated and often accessed only through a secured logon. Ultimately, it's a very personal choice for each publisher and organization to figure out what's best for them, what the impact of DRM means not only in terms of sales, but in terms of customer support. This is a decision that's best made with a full understanding of the consumer experience. And remember, DRM does not have to be a one-size-fits-all solution and can change from one title to another or even evolve over time. In addition to selling ebooks on your website, you can easily sell print books. Just because you're selling direct to consumer does not mean you need to get bogged down in the minutiae of order fulfillment. Find or create a solution that offers as much hands-off as possible. Automated order fulfillment using direct warehouse integration can relieve you from day-to-day order fulfillment tasks. Automated print-on-demand solutions not only offer hands-off processing, but a zero inventory model that allows you to only pay printing fees after a title is sold. And bundling print titles with ebook versions or electronic companion titles is another way to add value to the sale and increase your margins. Regardless of the options you choose, you should, wherever possible, look for a solution that provides automated order fulfillment so that you can focus your efforts on marketing existing titles or creating new content and not the intricacies of order fulfillment of sales you've already made. And on a final note, as long as you're selling books direct to consumers, don't forget to include any additional items you have for sale, such as CDs, DVDs, or even bundling promotionally branded products and add-ons. So as you leave here today, remember, direct-to-consumer sales is not a substitute for selling your books through retail and other non-retail channels, but instead is an important additional revenue stream. Selling direct-to-consumer allows you to maintain control. Your website and direct-to-consumer experience eliminates distractions from competing products that aren't yours and allows you to set your pricing as well as making changes on the fly. Your website provides a go-to place for information you specialize in, helping build your brand and create a more sticky audience. It's important to keep the sales going after the initial sale. Build a customer database and establish a direct line of communication with your audience. Many formats exist for print or ebooks. Choose the options that are right for you and your audience. And finally, look for a solution that provides automated fulfillment so you can focus on marketing and creating new content. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to review this presentation. Please feel free to contact me directly with any questions at brian.nordyke@sheridan.com, or you can find us on the web at www.sheridan.com or www.cjkgroup.com.